Hello and welcome to Wales, where we paint away the stress of everyday life. I'm currently walking my little dog Molly down the park like I do every day. So on a recent visit to London with my friend Jason Bowen, he showed me how to use watercolours and gouache, and I'm in the process of actually doing that at the moment. I'm about my 10th painting in, so I thought it would be fun if I just showed you the progress that I've got at the moment, and you could follow along with me if you want. So without further ado, let's get back to the studio. Okay, so let's have a quick look at the palette. Well, you can see I'm just using a range of watercolours there. I've also got some gouache in there. I'll talk a little bit more about the difference between gouache and watercolours if you don't know. I've set my palette out. I've got a couple of greens, a couple of blues, a purple, a few different reds, an orange, two different yellows. You can see they're quite dirty, so I need to clean them a bit. There's all my earth tones there, from burnt embers, raw siennas, yellow ochres, etc. I got three different blacks, a couple of greens. I got a bit more, a couple of more reds there, and oranges and whites. So these are all spares actually, so I don't use those. These are just spares, and these are just the new ones. So just to reiterate, I've got a couple of greens, a couple of blues, some purples. I got a red, a crimson red, cadmium red, and what's that? That's a crimson. Yeah, it is. I got a couple of yellows which I need to clean, and I got my raw sienna, yellow ochre, burnt ember, raw ember, burnt ember there, a Van Dyke brown, sorry, and I got a couple of different blacks, and that's it. And I use my white, which is there. That is a gouache white that I made myself, and that's it really. So a different look on the video today. There we are. This is a different part of the studio. This is going to be my watercolour desk from now on. Yeah, so without further ado, let's get on to this. I'll put a picture up of what I'm going to paint, and if you want to paint along with me, you can. You can use acrylics, and I'll explain to that as we go along. So let's get painting. Alright, so let's see if I can't embarrass myself too much. So I'm looking at my reference photograph. First of all, I'm going to go and get some very thin grey wash. I'm just going to find the base of the egg cup. That's going to come down there like that. Now, what I've learned so far is that I quite like the way you can manipulate the watercolour. It's very similar to acrylics when they're wet. So, and you can alter it a little bit as well. Now, I dare say there's easier ways of using watercolours, but as I said, it's a new medium for me, and I just quite like a way that you can just jump in painting straight away without worrying too much about clean up and mess and stuff like that. And if you get used to sketching out with watercolours like this, like I'm doing at the moment, I'm just going to get that ellipse right. There we go. So I just want to get it to look like an egg cup. We can put our egg in a minute. So we got an egg cup. Okay, so we want to top the egg. So looking at that, it's about the same height. So we want to go roughly there, and it comes out of the egg cup like that. So we try and keep that shape, and it comes with a little bit of a pocket there. Bit pointier towards the top, not a lot. There you are. So there's our initial sketch. Now, what I found was to go in, just going to get a little bit of white, and I'm going to mix that in with the black. You see, it's quite thin, but I got a pale grey there, and that's okay. That's okay. So hopefully I'll paint that in. Now, what I'm using here is not watercolour white, it's gouache. Gouache has got chalk in it, which makes it a little bit more opaque. Okay. So just add in that grey colour, because I don't want to go in white with this egg, this cup, because it has got a bit of a grey tone to it. Now, I've been introduced to watercolours by my good friend Jason Bowen, because we haven't long come back from London, a trip for London. So I don't think there's a right way or wrong way, really. You can't say there's a right way or wrong way to work with watercolours. Now, I always thought the watercolours were going to be like wishy-washy colours. Now I'm working on a brown card. It's what's used for crafting cards and things. So it's a scrapbook actually, and I'm just going to get a little bit of black and white back mixed there now. So I don't think there's a right or wrong way really to paint with this. Now, as I said, I always thought that acrylics were going to be wishy-washy, and you can get them like the wishy-washy traditional looking watercolors, but you can use acrylics like in exactly the same way as this. And I love my acrylics, I really do. I love my acrylics, and if you thin them down, you can thin them down as much as you want with water, but they don't reactivate. And what I mean by reactivate is if I wash that brush out now and come back up here, I could pick the paint back up, look. So because it's not fixed, it's water soluble. There's only gum arabic and or honey holding this pigment together as a binder, and as I said, with gouache, there's chalk in gouache, the calcium carbonate chalk, and that's what gives it a little bit more of an opaque feel. So I'm just basically, like you would do with acrylics, I'm just basically blocking out, trying not to wet my paper too much with this. And I'm just going to get a little bit more black. I'm just going to darken the shadow up underneath here. Maybe that's a bit too dark. Just going to get a bit of white. You can play around. Just get a bit of shadow underneath there. Got a bit of blue mixed in with my black. So just giving it that blue look about it. There we go. We can get a bit of that colour now. Just under the lip there. Looking at my reference and just all I'm looking for you is not, I don't want it to be, I'm not going to spend a lot of time and try and be 100% accurate. I just want to get that. I'm just practicing really at the end of the day, and it's important that that's what we do, and we remember what we're doing. We remember that we're practicing. We're not looking for perfection.
Ricardo.
And these are just a few little watercolour sketches I've been doing, trying to get to grips with the greens and trees, which I am learning. And that's a little reed bed that's in the lake. So it's all practice at the end of the day. You know, it's okay. I'm happy with them as studies. It's just something I can refine now when I go away home, because I've taken photographs of these. That gives me something to work to. So who knows? Masterpiece in the making. What I'm concerned about at this present moment in time, and you can do the same as me, is just don't worry too much. Don't get hung up on details and perfection, but try and just get the feel for the paint. And if you do that, things will work out a lot better for you, in my experience. I'm just going to put a bit of shadow down there like that. We're going to add a little bit of blue light to that in a second. So that's basically my egg cup shape. Now I'm going to go in, I'm going to get some of my burnt umber. So what I'm going to do is got some burnt umber there. I'm going to get some yellow. Mix a little bit of yellow with it. Try that on my egg. That's not far off. I just want to go a little bit darker. See, there's not a lot of difference between the paper I'm using and that colour of that egg. This is around about the 8th watercolour type of painting I've done. So I'm not expecting miracles from this. I'm I'm enjoying the painting process actually. And what you can do with watercolours is just set up on your kitchen table or set up anywhere really. You can take them out in the field and you can enjoy some plein air painting quite nicely with watercolours. And I've been painting a wide variety of subjects. I'm just going to mix up another bit of batch of paint, so I'm going to just get a bit of burnt umber, get a bit of yellow into that. There you go. Just getting this nice effect, getting a bit more yellow. Just getting a bit of light into this egg now. Letting that dry. I'm going to draw my attention now to the bottom of the egg cup. And what I'm going to do then is I'm going to mix, I got a little bit of blue. A little bit of blue. There you go. And a bit of my homemade gouache paint. So I've got a nice blue. You can see what I've got there. I've got blue and I've got a purpley colour there, and I've got a pinky colour. These are my lights. These are my, this is the light that's coming off and shining onto the egg, or onto the egg cup, and it's got a warm light and a cool light. So I'm going to be using those colours. So bring in the warm light. This is the cool light. Sorry, bring in the cool light in across the top of the egg cup lip there, like that. And bring a bit of light down to the bottom of the egg cup, like that. And then I'm going to bring it down there. You go. And as I said, because watercolour can reactivate, you can actually blend that in. Like that. And get a little bit of my grey colour and a bit of shadow just under that egg, like that. That egg cup. Egg, it's not an egg, it's an egg cup. A bit down there as well. Gonna put my blue light there. Come back into my dark colour. Back into my bit of blue light, and I'm just merging these colours together at the moment. That has actually got a bit more of a lip into it, like that. Well, the egg looks nice now. What I'm going to do is I got a bit of like purpley colour there. I'm just going to put a bit of warmth through this egg, like that. Wetting my brush. And I'm activating the paint. I'm merging that colour. Like that. I'm then going to get a bit of my burnt umber, going straight neat into my paint, pulling that off to a nice sharp point, because I got a couple of speckles on this egg. Now you don't have to do this, don't have to put a lot of detail in if you don't want to, but this is just a little, I'm going to tap that with my fingertip, because what's going to happen is it's going to stick to my fingertip. The paint is going to stick to my fingertip like that, and I can transfer that around like that, like a little mini stamp. There we are. Okay, so let's get some of my burnt umber, and you want to increase this darkness there. Get this colour to come across there a bit more, a bit more brown, a bit more shadow in there, like that. Now you could leave it at that if you want to. I'm just going to get some bright white, and I'm just going to emphasize a little bit of really bright light, because this is like a china colour, a china thing. So it's just picking up a little bit of bright light like that. And then I'm going to switch over to a little short flat. I'm going to go into my dark black grey type of colour, and I need a little bit more black. I'm just going to put a shadow in. Just to set that down. Onto the paper. Just so it looks natural. So if you like what you've seen today and you want to see some more, just let me know, and please subscribe with the subscription button, or and leave me a thumbs up and a comment. As I said, this is only about the 6th ever watercolour type of paintings I've ever done, so it's just a study of an egg. There's my little reference there that you can see, and also that's the finished painting. And well, thank you very much for joining me in the studio today, please like, comment, share and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one, hopefully. Don't forget, I upload every Monday at 7:30. Nice.